Right? It's simple, only if you
Anyway.
All right. So slope-intercept form. First off, what is slope-intercept form?
Y equals mx plus b. I learned that from this book.
All right. Y equals mx plus b. But on problem number 71, they give you a point and they give you an equation. And it says, write the slope-intercept form of the equation of the lines through the given point, but parallel, and then a second equation that is perpendicular to the given equation. So now, what do you have?
Lines.
You have a line. What does this equation of this line give me? Why do I need this one?
So you can get the slope.
So you can get the slope. All right, let's see who was paying attention. Without solving for y, what is the slope of 4x minus 2y equals 3?
1/2.
Remember, subtract the 4 because you subtract the 4x and then divide by the 2, the negative 2. So negative divided by negative, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. Okay, so parallel slopes have what?
The same slope.
Perpendicular lines have what kind of slopes? So you knew what I was asking, even though I didn't say it right. So the slope of 2 is the same. Perpendicular is negative 1/2. Opposite and reciprocal. All right. Now, I have a point and I have a slope. Which of our equations would be the best one to start with? If I have point slope form, that would be the one. Okay, so y minus the y equals our slope. I'm going to do the a part first. 2 times x minus the 2. Now this is in point slope form. And what form did they tell me I needed to have it in? Slope intercept. So I need to solve for y. I'm going to distribute first and add the 1. Good. Okay, I'm going to do it again. This time I need perpendicular. Y minus 1 equals negative 1/2 x minus 2. Distribute. Half of 1 is 1. Half of 2 is 1. Negative times negative is a positive. Add 1. And done. Am I going too fast?
No.
Let me know if I am. All right.
That's needed.
On 77, it is a special problem. We have negative 5 and 1, but our equation is y plus 2 equals 0. That is just a horizontal line at y equals a negative 2. What are the slopes of all horizontal lines?
0.
So my slope is 0. So on the a part, parallel, y minus the y, and the slope, x minus the x. 0 times anything is
0.
And how many of you knew that if this is a horizontal line and this one is going to be parallel to it, I only needed that one? If you knew that, then this work you didn't have to write. You could just write y equals 1. Now, what about perpendicular?
X equals 0.
What if if it's this way, which way is perpendicular to horizontal? And it has to go through the point -5, 1. The vertical line equation is x equals -5. Now, if you didn't remember that, you might have to write it out and go from there. But if you did, no work necessary. X equals are the equations of all vertical lines. All right. Then we're going to move over to 81 and 82. And 81 says, let's do 82 because 81 is a multiple of 3. In the exercise, the lines are parallel. Find the slope-intercept form of the equation of y2. So we're here at 82. This is y2. What is my slope? So y equals a -2. And what is my y-intercept? Guess again.
-1.
-1. The y2 line goes right there. So the y-intercept would be -1. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. And if you didn't either have a clear y-intercept, you would have had to have used the point and the slope to write the equation of the line. Okay? Perpendicular. 83. y1, the slope is 2x. 2 is the slope. What is the perpendicular line's slope? y2 is the perpendicular line. What is its slope? -1/2. Where does it cross the y-axis? y2 is this one that's going in the negative.
Oh, so it's 3.
1.
Uh-oh, we're in trouble.
Oh.
The y-intercept of y1 is 3. Yes. The slope is 2. Yes. The slope of y2 is the opposite reciprocal, so it's negative. It's going this direction. What is the y-intercept of this line?
1.
1. So y equals a -1/2 x plus 1. Yeah, make sure you don't get confused on which one they're talking about. All right, moving on. Graphs of parallel perpendicular lines. They give you A, B, and C. Identify any relationships that exist among the lines. 85. What is the relationship between A and B if it exists?
Well, same way intercept.
Well, aren't they? One's 4, one's negative.
That is correct. The slope of 1 is 4, and the slope of B is a -4.
One's going to be this way.
They are going to intersect. And the y-intercept is both 0, 0. Now, they are. They are symmetrical. They're looking for whether or not they're parallel, perpendicular, neither. A and B are neither. Okay. What about throw C into the mix? It's a negative or a positive 1/4.
B and C are perpendicular.
What about A and C? No. So B and C are perpendicular. None of them are parallel. So that's the only relationship that we can, unless we start talking about the y-intercepts. Okay. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
All right. Architectural design. The rise to the run ratio of a roof is 3 to 4. Determine the maximum height in the attic of the house who's 32 feet wide. Any ideas? What you gonna do? It does look like triangles.
Beggars were out here.
The distance formula.
Okay. If you have a slope that is rise to run, 3 to 4, and we are looking for this height here, what is this run here? The whole house is 32 feet wide. So we need half of it. So 16.
Yeah.
So I could set up a 3 to 4 is what to 16? Whoop, you can't see any of it.
This looks like ACT.
12 over 6.
It looks like ACT boot camp all over again.
12 over 6.
Yes. So what is the height?
Up to
4 times what is 16? 4 times 3 is, so
It's not
12
4
is the
o'clock yet.
height. Oh my goodness. All right. Modeling. I know Miss Boyd did a lot of calculator stuff. Okay, so my question to you is, I don't want you to sketch by hand anything. Okay, and this is my year X and my cells Y. Now X represents 1 in 2011. How do I put this data in my calculator?
Oh,
Don't
the
even
table
remember.
setting. I just forgot how to use it.
Y equals.
Stat plot and-
Y equals can only be used when you already have an equation. I don't have an equation. Somebody over here said it.
You go to second stat plot.
If you push stat right here first and enter in the edit and enter in the table. X is in list 1, Y is in list 2. Make it easy, just type them in. Okay, so stat, edit, and put in your data points first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And are you familiar with Texas Instruments? Yes, you are. Awesome. Okay, so 20.9, 24.1, 25.3, and you guys have already probably finished because you text all the time. And I don't. 34.4. Now,
Okay.
when you have them entered in, make sure that this is on list 1 7. Make sure this one is list 2 7. If those numbers are different, you will have a dim mismatch, dimension mismatch. It means one list has fewer numbers than the other one. Okay, so make sure that's kind of a checkpoint. Make sure they're the same, because if you add or you forget to push enter and you put 2 of them on the same line, that'll cause that. Okay, all right, now tell me, where do I go from here?
Second stat plot.
The second stat plot, the blue button, and the Y is equal to button takes you to the stats plot. My one plot is turned off. All of them are turned off. So I'm going to push enter, and I'm going to push enter so that the black box moves from off to on. And they want me to sketch the data. What graph do I want to look at?
Third one.
I would use the third.
Third one.
Sketch.
The bar graph.
How about a scatter plot?
Oh, okay. Well,
Okay,
I get third.
so that is the first one. Yeah. So are my X's in list 1? Yes. Are my Y's in list 2? Yes. I need to choose my mark. I pick the biggest one because I can't see. You know, some people pick that little dot. That's fine. Not me. I got to have the big one. All right. From here, where do I go? Okay, push graph. and I have this going on, so I've got some issues. What about if I do zoom and arrow down to zoom stat? Have you ever seen zoom stat?
Have now.
If your window, yesterday you worked on changing your window. If your window is only from -10 to 10, you are not going to see any of these points because they're at 20, 24.1, whatever. Okay. So if you'll do a zoom stat, it will take you to the best window for the data that you entered. Okay. And if you push window, look at what happened. It changed mine to 0.4, 7.6, and 18 to 36 with my scale being 20. So it automatically adjusted that window for me. Okay. So there is A. So on your paper, you're going to put a check. I did it. It's in my calculator. Okay. Now, use the slopes to determine the years in which the cells show the latest, greatest, and least increases. Looking from point to point, year to year.
Year 2 to year 3 was the least.
Which one has the greatest increase?
1 to 2 is greatest.
You're looking for slopes. So from year 1 to year 2, that's a pretty steep slope. And if you want to, you can use a straight edge and kind of go, oh, yeah, that's pretty steep. Not so steep. Kind of steep. So is that one kind of the same as that one? Oh, yeah, they're almost the same. Wow. And from 3 to 4 and 4 to 5, but then it kind of slows down and then it kind of speeds back up, right? All right, so the moment of truth. Which ones from year to year? Year to year. We started in 2011. What year was the biggest increase?
2012.
From 2011 to 2012? And then where was the least amount?
2012 to 2013.
There you go. You're done. All right, moving on. Find the equation of the line between 2011 and 2017. Now, this is going to be the moment of truth. Did you do it in the calculator in A? This is how I check to see if you actually put it in the calculator or if you just push check. How do I get the equation? This is going from 2011 to 2017. That's all of the data I have in there. How do I get my line of best fit, my regression line? Stat, calc, and what is it? Well, I want the linear regression. Y equals mx plus b, 4. Now, do I have my x's in list 1? Yes. Do I have my y's in list 2? Yes. I'm not worried about the frequency list. That is for basically like your histograms frequency tables. Store regression equation. I need the calculator to put my line of best fit in Y1. How do I get Y1? I think it is underneath the calc button. So the green calc button. And then Y1 is selected. And now I'm going to calculate. And we have to make a decision in this class. What place value should we round to? because you are not going to write down all of those decimals.
I say
Whole. Let's go whole number.
Typically, we round
Thousands.
Hundreds.
to the hundreds place. When we get to trig, we round to the thousands, the third place. But in here, we'll round to the second one. So my equation is going to be y equals 2.23x. Why is it 0.23? Because the third number is greater than 5. So this rounds up to 3. 19.01. Why? Because 4 is less than 5. All right? All right. So there's the equation. Now, this is where we're going to see if you were reading the instructions. Interpret the meaning of the slope of the line that you just found. What does 2.23 represent in this problem? Okay, now remember slope is a ratio. Sales in dollars over years. So the 2.23 is what?
is it over?
This is sales in what? Yeah, billions. So there is an increase of $2.23 billion. Keep going.
Per year.
Per year, because you're doing it for 1 year. How did I know I was doing it for 1 year? Because it says year right there, year in the table. It sure does. Oh, wrong way. There you go. Year X. All right. Now use this equation. Use this equation to estimate the sales in 2021. X was the year. 1 was 2011. What number represents 2021?
21.
11.
Okay, let me write this. 1 means 2011. 2 means 2012. What means 2021?
34. 10. Final answer.
Let's go.
So I was wrong.
If you go to the 10 here, so I've got it. Looky here, my calculator put it in there. If I go to the table, blue table, there's to 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 43.53.
I mean, that's 11.
So why did subtracting not give me the right answer?
Because it doesn't start at 0.
Because it didn't start at 0. You have to be careful just subtracting if you're starting at a number other than 0. We started at 1, so we had to go to 11. Most of the problems that you've done at this point, you started time 0, started on a 0 year, so 2010. Okay, so be careful. Good job, by the way. Now, what am I going to write on my paper? I'm not going to put 43.53. What am I going to put?
43.53.
Yes, and $sign. That's a lot of money. It sure is.